Hi there, this is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about leaky gut and LDL particle count. This is a very interesting concept. You know, you worry about your cholesterol and your LDL number, but do you worry about your particle count? Because the real issue is, are you making small, dense LDL particles, or are you making big, fluffy ones? Well, let's throw a little wild card in there so think about it. Do you know what lipopolysaccharides are? Lipopolysaccharides are the part of the lining of bacteria, and they're part of their cell wall. And your body makes an immune response to them. Now, if you're septic, the leading cause of death in hospitals in America, sepsis, you have tons of lipopolysaccharides. And that's part of why you go into septic shock and die. But what happens if you're just run-of-the-mill, ordinary, middle-aged American who feels tired and run down and fatigued all the time? You may have leaky gut, making your lipopolysaccharide count in your blood go up, and that's also making your cholesterol look worse. How does that work, and what is leaky gut? Well, your gut is only one cell layer thick. There's actually 3 little proteins called zonulin that hold your cell walls together in your gut. And it's intentionally that way so that food can very easily get in. And 70% of your immune system is there watching to make sure the bad stuff doesn't get in. But what happens if you have leaky gut? We don't really have good tests for that, because when we look in the gut, we can only really go as far as the stomach. The small bowel is actually invisible to direct observation. Colonoscopy can only go up into about your appendix. So the whole 22 feet in between isn't really visible, and it's not visible at a microscopic scene. But when you have leaky gut, you have large particles, most dangerously LPS particles, leaking in. What do those LPS particles do? Well, they have to be cleared. They're dangerous. And it turns out that's what your LDLs do. They suck them up and transport them. HDLs pick them up, hand them off to an LDL, and the more lipopolysaccharides you have, the more LDLs you have to make, so the smaller your particles become. Did you get that? The more lipopolysaccharides you have, the more your LDLs have to transport them, the more your count goes up. Oh dear. So if you want to improve your dangerous cholesterol, you have to improve your leaky gut. How can you do that? Well, did you know that taking almost any of the non-steroidals, particularly ibuprofen, makes your gut instantly leaky? Did you know that wheat also does it? That's what gluten does. It's the only known food that unzips the bindings between your cells, unzips zonulin. And there's probably dozens of other things that do it. You can look them up, but not to confuse you right now. Start by thinking about, can you feed your gut something healthy? Can you aim to get at least 25 grams of fiber a day? Can you eat yogurt? Bill Davis has a wonderful recipe for yogurt on the internet, for Lactobacillus reuteri yogurt, probably the most healthy yogurt you can make. Can you feed yourself some of that probiotic and help heal your healthy gut? Can you stop taking antibiotics, stop taking NSAIDs, stop eating wheat, and your LPL count will get better. Your lipopolysaccharide count will get better. And then suddenly, maybe your fatigue will get better. Many other reasons for fatigue, but this could be one of them. Dr. John Whitcomb talking about lipopolysaccharides making you feel fatigued, run down, and really making your cholesterol count look awful.